Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Super Ninja Austin back here with another video. This is episode 29 of the SNA podcast, and this is the AEW Collision Part 4 review. Let's begin, and we're gonna start off with everybody having a few words for their respective opponents for their upcoming match tonight on Collision before they hit the intro and the theme song. Well, soon after with Jon Moxley defending his AEW International Champion against Action Andretti, and I would say it was up to high in expectations, if not higher, because Action Andretti looked like he could possibly would have dethroned the current international champion, the new current international champion that knew he held that title for like a week now, I believe. Yeah. But yeah, I'm not sure if this is the second time. I believe it's his first time. He faced AR Fox, but I think the title was not on the line. It was a non-title match. But Action Andretti was given the fight of Moxley's the fight of his night because I believe he was getting more of the fighting offense than Moxley was ever doing. He was hardly keeping up, but Moxley managed to put away the young future world champion out of Action Andretti. With Action Andretti moving out, I'll say this is kind of random to bring up, but this is what I'm gonna get to the part where right before they got in the commercial break, Jon Moxley tried to tackle him right to the symbol of the steel steps. He moved out of the way. He hits him, the symbol of the steel steps. And then they got back in the ring. Jon Moxley was hardly trying to stand up. This is when Action Andretti hit him with maneuvers like with arm drags and let's see. And what move right here? A missile drop kick, a snapmare missile drop kick. And he tried to go for a pin. He only got him a 2.5 count. We have this is where Action Andretti tried to find the way to put away the international champion, but come up with moves after move like. He started using Jon Moxley's messed up leg as an advantage and Moxley's disadvantage by stepping on it and doing kick moves and etc. But somehow, some way that Moxley managed to get back up and kicks out of his move. And then at the end, we see Action Andretti trying to. And he had him in a stomping position like Moxley. At first he started slowly doing, but the fans started until he started going middle and faster. And that's when fans definitely started liking and cheering him for more. And he's like, you want more or not? And then everybody say more and more. And they start stomping on his head, like with his hands onto the Jon Moxley. And I know I'm not saying much, but this is why I remember, like with him doing this, the Jon Moxley hitting moves until this is when Jon Moxley had enough. He put Action Andretti with the rear naked choke, and then that's when he had no choice but the tap, and then he had no choice but the tap, and then Jon Moxley still is your international champion. But this won't be the only time we see his appearance on tonight's Collision. Make sure to watch this video to the very end to find that out. Well, it's not going to be, I'll say, to the mid for Jon Moxley's case, but watch this video to the very end because they're going to be putting more good matches that I'm going to talk about on this video. Make sure to expect that and stay tuned on here. And yeah, he retained his international champion. We're going to be putting more about him and that championship later on the evening. And then we're going to move on to this next slide, which is going to be about Roderick Strong in an interview, backstage interview, or some kind of a backstage video promo with. And then he was telling them about in the interview that Adam Cole was such a caring and loving friend, and he'll do anything incredibly selfless for his friends, including him particularly. Like if there's something that Roddy need, he would give it for him, and even the shirt off his back, I should say. Yeah, even the shirt off his back. He'll do anything selfless for. And he said he was he was not only a friend to him, he was like a brother to him as well. And then he was telling Adam and he's like, you need to realize something, Adam. Like, I've been here for you since day one, ever since you started your pro wrestling career. And where was Maxwell at? Like, he wasn't even nowhere near the industry. He was barely a teen, which that's sadly true for the future AEW World Champion. But and then Roderick's like, I'm still here for you, do thick and thin. And then he was like, I'm not the one that's changed. Like, you're the one that's changed, Adam, Mr. I'll say Mr. I'll say you're the one that changed, Adam, because ever since you've been hanging out with the AEW World Champion, like, you've been changed. And not I should say changed again. I should say you've been acting totally different, like, especially around me. And he's like, well, I need you the most now. You just let me down time and time, even though most of the times it was in a dishonest manner. Like with them showing the clip of him trying to help him gain the championship and dethrone the champ himself, Maxwell Jacob Freeman, by grabbing his own championship and hitting him with it. But Adam Cole said, I'm not going to do this dishonestly. But anyway, this one, he's like, time and time again, you know how it makes me feel when being alone makes me feel, like, you know how it does to me. I was like, that's a very odd way to describe this. Like you don't always need to have Adam Cole into your corner just because you want him to. Like, that's very weird. Like, yeah, weird in many ways. Yeah. Like you don't need your wrestling brother in your corner just because you want him to. Like you don't always be alone. That's some kind of a mental breakdown, basically. But let's continue unto what he said. Like, he's like, now I'm totally fine because I'm going to win he got to the point, said, like, that's fine because I'm gonna go there alone, go alone. Like, well, not really, because he's gonna have Matt Taven and Mike Bennett alone. Mike Bennett alone on his corner, like he did tonight against Darby Allin. But we're gonna get to that soon enough. But let's continue to this first. He's gonna go win the semifinals, and then the upcoming Wednesday on the next episode of Dynamite, he's gonna face either Penta or Samoa Joe, and he's gonna beat him, which I'm predicting that's gonna be the case. But we're gonna figure that out as soon enough when we get to those matches. And he said he's gonna be the new AEW World Champion, but I still won't be happy because he's like, I still won't be happy because I still want my friend, and that is Mr. Adam Cole. Well, I'm not sure if that will happen, even if he did win the AEW World Championship. Even though I think he's gonna win the whole Eliminator tournament, but I don't think he's gonna beat MJF regardless. But what do y'all think? What do you thought? Y'all thought about this backstage promo interview vignette? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. And we're gonna move on to the. He also showed Samoa Joe in the brawl, and with MJF, and then throwing words at each other, like including references from that time in WWE back in 2016. Like I said on the Dynamite recap video, y'all make sure to check that out. We have up next. We have Chris Statlander taking on Robin Renegade, one half of the Renegade sisters, which I'd say, like, these Renegade girls do not get enough credit, because like they were given a run because Robin Renegade was giving Chris Statlander a run for her money. Like, yeah, she haven't walked out as champion, obviously, because she got a lot more to learn into AEW's wrestling. Even though it's not that much, they accept all kinds of styles in wrestling. They're like the complete opposite of WWE. But I mean, like, to have that experience in the have that experience and starting to learn the skills into this in this business, in this environment and establishment. But yeah, she showed why she should be a future champion in the women's division of something, whether it be in the TBS championship or the women's world championship. But I believe they should have a tournament, like, for AEW Women's World Tag Team Championship, with them winning the straps. I'll say they should do a tournament, and they should do so much with this duo. But anyways, this is when Chris Statlander came out, and they showed a backstage a promo from the reigning TBS champion. She was like, "I'm gonna be just like how my best friend Orange Cassidy was. I'll defend my TBS Women's Championship anytime, any place, anywhere," which that makes her a great fighting champion herself. And let me tell you, I would say this was probably like the third best match of the night. But I'll say even though it was like a small minor opener match between him and Jon Moxley, but it was still, I'll say, the fourth best match of the night. And I don't even count that many high rankings of matches, like what's the best or what's the worst match. But I'm a rank like most of the matches are what's the best, like, which I would say this was most definitely the third best match of the night. Like, with Robin Renegade did it again, like she did when she faced Willow. Even though she's most likely in a losing streak in AEW Collision, but she shows why she's there, like, along with her sister. But yeah, Chris Statlander hit with a shoulder tackle. She runs, and then Robin goes for a duck. This is where Chris Statlander hits a drop kick. This is when Chris Statlander got up and started getting hyped during the match. And then this is where she tried to Irish whip Robin right to the corner turnbuckle, but she Irish whipped her right into the other side. This is where she lifts up, and then this is where she tried to go for an uppercut, but she moved out of the way. This is where Robin Renegade tried to go for a double knees. This is where Chris Statlander was holding on to her legs. This is where she was walking her right into the middle of the ring. This is when Robin tried to go for a step up instigiri, but she ducked. Chris Statlander hit her with a German suplex. And I'll say the same with Robin Renegade. Said Chris Statlander's already a championship. She been busting her tail for the past 4 years since AEW's first show into Dynamite. Like, she's been showing herself that she's an OG into this establishment. Like, and then she's gonna continue doing that. Like, yeah, and then let's continue to the match. She finally hits Robin with an uppercut. This is where her sister Sarah Lean, I believe that's what her name is, Sarah Lean Renegade, grabbed onto her leg, and then that's when Chris Statlander noticed, and she started looking at her way. She was like, that made her distracted though, because Robin hit her with a haluva kick right out of nowhere. And then this is where she started hitting right hands right into to her head. This is where she started laying her leg right onto Chris Statlander, or throw first right into the middle ropes. This is the referee will start doing this counting of if she doesn't get her leg off of her in the next 5 seconds, or she'll get DQ'd. She got her leg off. This is where where's her name is Sarah-Leen? Yeah, Sarah-Leen go for a cheap shot, like by hot shotting her and pulling her close right into the ropes and making poor Chris Statlander not breathe more and more. And then this is when she started hitting her with a arm drag choke headlock right into the middle of the ring, like. And then this is like with her arms tied in the opposite directions. This is when Chris Statlander rolled out of it, and then this is where Robin Renegade hit her kicked her right in the midsection. This is when she Irish whipped her right into the corner turnbuckle, but she hit her with a clothesline, looked like similar to Randy Orton. She hit another one, and then this is where she tried to kick her, but Robin spun her leg around. She hit her with a roundhouse kick that made her go cuckoo, like, and then that's when she ran right into the corner. This is when Chris Statlander getting more hype with her hitting the turnbuckle pad on the other corner. You hit her with another corner European uppercut. This is where she hit her with a boot to the face. This is where she hits the at least devastating move in all sports entertainment, the Blue Thunder Bomb, which only got her a 2 count. This is when her sister thought it was going to be it, and it was going to be the new devastating move in all sports entertainment, but she was too late. Even though she might have a chance of stopping her because her sister Robin kicked out of it. Referee's like, "Hey, you're not supposed to be in the ring. You're supposed to be in the ringside area." This is when Chris Statlander was too distracted. This is when Robin went for the most devastating move in all sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up. This is when the surprise roll-up, she kicked out of that. This is when she tried to go from behind, try to push her, try to roll her up again, but Chris Statlander countered out of that. She hit her most devastating move in all sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up onto Robin with the 1, 2, 3, and she's still the TBS champion. And then this is when they double teamed her. This double team, and then was the most shock of the night, because this is when we saw the surprising return of Jade Cargill. And we were like, since when the last time we saw her? And even though she might have been injured, and she might have been injured for the past few months, and that explains half the reason why she's been absent from the past 4 months. And then this is when the Renegade Sisters started to get her ready to be turned into a double team to a triple team, because they started welcoming her, Jay Cargill, with open arms, saying, "Yeah, come in the ring and help us finish off Chris." And then this is when they try to shake her hand to welcome her back. This is when Jay Cargill started hitting moves with like right hands and punches and kicks. Had them packing. And then this is when it looked like she was helping out. This is when Jay Cargill tried to pick Chris Statlander up the see if she was all right, but only to just. She's like, "Yeah, you were right," and she tried a handshake and show some sportsmanship, but we were been fooled, including Chris Statlander, because she grabbed her from behind, hits her with the jaded, and then have her knocked out cold with her holding up the TBS title, which she used to be in until back in May, with which Chris Statlander been the one that defeated her, and it looks like she wants a rematch, which we could possibly see her getting a title match, probably, if not Grand Slam, but maybe, I'm not sure about Wrestle Dreams, but probably the next big event, I'll say afterwards, or even Full Gear. No, that's like 2 months away, probably sooner. Like, so probably an event, like probably like at the end of September or beginning of October. But what do y'all think about this? And I'm not sure if Chris Statlander should win because she's been doing great things with that title. She's like a female version of her best friend Orange Cassidy. What he was doing with the international championship, making that title look very prestigious. That every wrestler in the roster wants a piece of that gold. Even Jon Moxley himself wanted that gold, which he finally did. Which I'm not sure if it suits him because it's probably lower level than where he's at, double L even. But yeah, let's hope he could have that same magical powers, have the same magical powers as Orange Cassidy did with that championship. But back to the TBS championship. I'll say maybe this could be on story like where Jade Cargill said she didn't actually lost her title, and she didn't actually lost her streak because she wasn't ready to face her. It was in an unfair predicament. But at the same time, the other side of me saying Chris Statlander was doing the champion, even though it was the last minute of bringing her back from her injuries and being the one that beat her. But it was probably a perfect way to have somebody defeat her. I thought for sure before I started doing these SNA podcasts, I was thinking in my head like maybe they should wait for Jade Cargill past 100 wins of her undisputed streak, then have somebody beat her for not only for the TBS title, but also obviously to defeat her in her undefeated streak. But what do y'all think? Do you think Jade Cargill should win back her title, or do you want Chris Statlander to retain, just like I think that she should, because she's doing wonders with the championships, and she's making it very prestigious next to the Women's World Championship, like the International Championship. Y'all let me know down in the comments below. And this is where we got a backstage interview with the 2/3 of the Outcast, which Ruby Soho was very pissed off about Tony Storm simply costing her to be TBS champion, and then add more gold into the Outcast faction, and then this is when Saraya was calming down Ruby Soho. It's like yo, calm down, like we all know that Tony Storm's been acting more loopy lately, because I heard that she was heard earlier she was putting mayonnaise right into her face, making it look like some kind of a face skincare, like some skincare product, like the help. Because it's been rumored she's like it's been rumored that it clears her face or cleanses her face. Yeah. And she's she's basically nuts. And even trying to hit shoes where the sun don't shine. She's just simply nuts. And then this is when Renee Paquette started moving on to the interview, saying like next week on AEW, a week from this coming Wednesday at AEW Grand Slam, she's gonna face one of the number one who's gonna win the number one contenders women's 4-way match at this upcoming Wednesday of AEW Dynamite. Dynamite with 4 women. Hikaru Shida, Nyla Rose, Tony Storm, and Dr. Britt Baker DMD. And she was like, whoever it could be, and she asked, how it was winning the championship in her home country, and she was like, I feel fantastic as AEW Women's World Champion, and then she was like, you're much prettier more than Lexi, which is the other female backstage interviewer, which I believe she's the one that's engaged with Big Bill. And speaking of Big Bill, there's going to be more to talk about with him. Y'all just need to stay tuned to find out what I'm talking about. This is where, anyway, she's like, you're so much better than Lexi. And then she said, I believe if I'm not hearing things, this is she called Jackie not Jackie. I'm thinking of Jackie. I mean Lexi. Yeah, and then if I'm not mistaken, I believe she said she's a porn star. Like, and then excuse my mouth for bringing that up, but it's Soraya's word, not mine. It's the AEW Women's World Champions word, not Super Ninja Austin's word. So don't shoot the messenger. But anyway, she also said she'll be making her re-debut again because she officially joined AEW last September, which I was like, how I did not realize this. Like, it's been a whole year since Soraya's made her AEW debut. Like, ever since leaving WWE like 2 months prior from her contract. And then this is when Soraya's, and she's like, the AEW, and then for the AEW, and she's like, whoever wins the number one contenders match this coming Wednesday, I'll be walking out as AEW Women's World Champion, walking in as the champ, and I'll be walking out as the AEW Women's World Champ. We're like, once again, baby. That was something extra. But anyways, who do y'all think that's going to win the number one contenders match? My prediction is going to be clearly on Toni Storm for 2 reasons. For one, like, it couldn't be any of the 3 because especially 2 of them particularly because Hikaru Shida and Britt Baker's been arguing lately by being miscommunication by accidentally hitting each other in the tag team matches, like in the most inconvenient moments, which I think that they're gonna let their disagreements and grievances gonna get the better of them, and it's gonna be too much and they'll be brawling all over the ring and maybe knock the hell out of each other. That leads for both Toni Storm and what's her name, Nyla Rose, which I believe Toni Storm's going to win because I don't think there's going to be much for Nyla Rose into the Women's World Championship division. Maybe she could earn herself an opportunity for the TBS title in the meantime, but even though she's a former Women's World Champion in her own rights, but that's from then, and looks like she won't be that championship anytime soon. Probably later on in her future career, during her current career in AEW. But I think Toni Storm's gonna hit her finisher right on to Nyla Rose for the 1, 2, 3, and then she's gonna earn herself a spot against her. I'm not sure if it's former or current best friends because Saraya and Ruby Soho's not sure if they want a team with her anymore because she's getting bad to worse as she's going. But it's going. But yeah, who y'all think is going to win and who's going to face Saraya? And do you think she's going to retain, or do you think one of the number one contenders are going to become the new AEW Women's World Champion? What do y'all think? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. We're going to move on to the next slide. This is where we have a backstage interview, a double interview with Tony Schiavone with Eddie Kingston, and respectfully introduce him as the New Japan Strong World Openweight Champion, while he's face to face with the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion Claudio Castagnoli, and he was like, what is up with you, Claudio? Like, I thought we were supposed to be best friends in the independent scene, like. And ever since you left the independent scene, like you thought you were better than all of us, and you decided to go to make-believe land, which I believe he's referring to WWE, of course, which he probably was. And he was like, how about we have a match, like you and me, which I believe was Grand Slam. And he was like it'll be a match that any wrestler would dive in for. And then this is when Claudio's like, I'll have a match against you only on one condition: if you shake my hand and you tell me that you respect me. And then this is when Eddie Kingston was getting more pissed and being in beast mode. He was like, and then that's when Eddie Kingston was like, yeah, I guess. So you do remember from 15 years ago because I didn't shake your hand at all. And then that's when Claudio interrupted him and said, like, at Arthur Ashe Stadium, you're going to shake my hand and you're going to say that you respect me. And then he said, and then he admitted that Claudio admitted that I admit that I'm gonna lose the title, but it's gonna be to the better man, and it's never have been you, and that will never ever will be you. And then that's what Shivani was like I guess you got the match, and then that's when Eddie Kingston starts staring at him like he's like, and then that's what Eddie Kingston's like, deal. We better stay. We better sell more tickets, which he was being back to his comedic self. This is where we had Bullet Club Gold against the Lucha, the very talented Lucha Libre quartet. Which I'm not gonna get too much into detail in this match because it was hardly memorable. I'm not saying it's in a bad way, but I'll say it was so fast. So I would say I'm just gonna get to the point, get to the end with the Bullet Club Gold with here's where he hits a rolling cutter, which there was, but it was like barely. It was barely. What's that word? I would say edible cutter. I would say edible. I should say inedible. I would say that was like an active cutter, I should say, which I'm not sure if that made any sense. This is where he hits him with a spinning neck breaker. This is when Gravity started hitting double chops. This is when Juice Robinson hits his maneuver with a flatbed DDT. Looked like Seth Rollins' finishing move or signature move back in 2014, which they got him the 1, 2, 3, and they got the win. And I'm not sure what's next for these 4 guys. Like perhaps going after for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship. Well, at least the Guns should go after for those titles, while Juice Robinson could face for the I wouldn't say international championship, maybe the TNT championship, perhaps, or maybe even the AEW World Championship. No, I'll say Switchblade Jay White's department on that. But I'll say Switchblade Jay White should go after for the AEW World Championship because this could be so much story into facing MJF, because for the fact that MJF is currently teaming with Adam Cole, which he used to have been friends with Adam Cole in their Bullet Club New Japan days. But yeah, we're gonna see about these 4 in the future. And when we stay tuned, continue watching the AEW programming in the next probably 4 weeks, I should say 4 to 5 weeks. But yeah, what do y'all think about the quartet right now? And do you think that they're gonna be in matches against Sacrificial Lamb enhancement talents in the meantime? Y'all let me know about all that down in the comments below. We're gonna move on, shifting gears to everyone. But this is when Andrade was watching because yeah, he looked like he was very interested in what the Book Club Gold's doing. I was like, and this had me thinking like, like, this means that we're gonna see some kind of a faction versus faction. I was like, and what faction is Andrade in? Like, ain't he with Roosh and Preston Vance? That faction, like with them? I believe so. But yeah, we're gonna probably might see Andrade and his team with Roosh and them against probably him and Roosh against the Bullet Club Gold in the program, just to have just for both guys in both parties have some TV time on to the Saturday night show, But I believe that's what they should do, because you don't want them staying and catering for the next 6 months and then probably not sure that you're not going to keep them and quietly release them when you don't see no talent into the guys. But yeah, but what do y'all think about this? Do you and then do you think that Andrade's gonna and there gonna be any programming with Andrade against the Bullet Club Gold whatsoever? Whether if he's teaming with Roosh or some other faction, this Bullet Club Gold faction, y'all let me know down in the comments below. We'll move on. We're gonna move on to the next slide. We got, and then this is when his wife. This is when Miro's wife came on the screen, and it's been noted that there was no plans for the former Lana to be on AEW television. Well, it looks like whoever is in AEW creative either lied about this or even did not know at the moment until now, until they figured out something at the moment for CJ Perry to do. Because CJ Perry was on in a video promo for talking about her husband Miro. She was saying like she thought that he wasn't gonna come back unless he has gold around his waist. And then that's when she also said, like the TNT championship, for an example, like she ever since he lost that championship, he lost himself. And then she and she was showing that she wanted to surprise him, and she got his back from his match against Powerhouse Hobbs, and she thought he would become champion again, and I was like, how's that possible? Because it was not even for the championship whatsoever. Like not even for it was not even for the FTW championship. Like, so how it could be for any championship of any sort? But she was like, and she was like, oh God, like you're so stubborn, Miro. Like you're very stubborn. You're a bad stomach. Like you, and then she said, like, you have forsaken your God and your hot, flexible wife, which is herself. And I was like, I'm not sure about the hot part. Maybe flexible. Like Miro may think that, and I think he should stay like that because for obvious reasons. But for us wrestling fans, we don't know about that. I mean, there's plenty of internet trolls and perverts out there that would agree with Miro, but that's about it. So I wouldn't say, I don't know what is the former ravishing Russians talking about this. Let's hope this is a point about Miro being champion or even better into this, getting better and better at this industry and not barely winning and actually winning at least like 90% of his matches. And she was like, she was saying, she was exaggeratingly saying she was so torn. And then she was like, she's sitting in the sidelines for 2 years, which was an obvious reference from not wrestling in the ring, let alone not wrestling for a company, let alone wrestling at all for any wrestling company ever since she got released from WWE back in 2021. And she's like, she's been sidelined and outside of the squared circles for too long. In two long years, she's boring herself, breaking herself apart, and asking herself, do she have what it takes? And then for every fabric in her brain is yelling and she was like, don't bother me he said, she said, don't bother me until you find out. Or fabric in her beam. I mean, not brain. Don't leave until you find out. And that's when Miro started walking off. Like, I was like, and that's when he showed the video of him walking off from All Out. And I was like, yo, Miro, like, I thought you were just bragging about your hot wife. Like, why you're walking away from her? Like that was very, I wouldn't say too hypocritical, but it kind of was. Like you should have been bragging about, even though you're not a heel, but you should have did it at least to the Powerhouse Hobbs about like Like, you think I was making this stuff up, but I wasn't. Be some kind of a storyline about a monstrous beast having a hot wife, which Powerhouse Hobbs is a skeptic to this, which I'm not sure if that's the whole reasoning and the storyline, but I'm saying like she finally makes her appearance and helps out her husband beating Powerhouse Hobbs, but he looks like he was not sure if he was thinking of he needed her help. But what y'all thought? What y'all thought about C.J. Perry, the former Lana, making an appearance tonight, making a second appearance, second AEW appearance tonight, and making her Collision debut tonight with that video promo? Y'all let me know down in the comments below, and I believe we're gonna move on to the AEW first round tournament, which is. But first, we had Ray Phoenix in the squash match, which I'm not sure I should talk about that. Like, it was not much of a squash match. It was just this guy that teamed with his brother, which his name was. I think Will Fabre, I believe. He wrestled him for like less than 5 minutes. He hit him with that Phoenix Tide move, which is like an atomic drop with a 1, 2, 3. And then this is where we had backstage interview. Sorry, my bad for trying to get to the first match, which was Darby Allin against it was Roderick Strong against Darby Allin, but we're gonna get to that as soon as we talk about we're done talking about FTR. Like, they were telling, like, we beating guys like Bullet Club Gold, like Juice Robinson and Jay White, the Guns, Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett, and in the classic with the Young Bucks at Wembley Stadium, in our biggest tag team careers at Wembley Stadium with over 81,000 fans, which is probably like a record breaking into their career in pro wrestling. And we've been doing it all, and we'll give the Iron, what's their tag team name? The Iron Claws. Yeah, I think that's something like that. Like, we'll give them an opportunity for the AEW tag, which we're gonna have that, which is gonna be next week. And what y'all think about this tag team championship match? Y'all also let me know down in the comments below. This is where we finally do have the Roderick Strong match against Darby Allin. But when Darby Allin, as soon as he was making his entrance and go on his way to the stage, this is when Luchasaurus backstage attacked Darby Allin right out of nowhere. This is where he held him against the brick wall. This is where he was about to hit this reversed fireman's carry move, fireman's slam. This is when before he did that, Christian Cage took a shot at Darby Allin, saying like, ha 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 ha, you think you're gonna you think you're gonna win the TNT championship? Like, we're gonna give you one last shot for the TNT championship, and not only you're not gonna win this championship match, you're never ever gonna be TNT champion ever again. And that's when he hits him with the slam, which looked very extremely frightening and horrifyingly painful. And then that's when Darby Allin, and that's when Nick Wayne came and stepped in. He tried to help him out, get into the ring, and get ready for his match with Roderick Strong. He started stumbling, and then this is what made my brother shocked. Like, he was he just literally pushed that cameraman right off the side. Like, yeah, I'm afraid he just did. I was like, for him being a small guy, he got a strength like a 300-pounder. Yeah. But yeah, this is when Roderick Strong had the first advantage. This is when he started threw him right into Tina the Turnbuckle and cornered Tina the Turnbuckle. This is when Roderick Strong started toying with him and started hitting him with knife edge chops. He was hitting him like with not his chops, and then hitting him face first right in the teeth of the turnbuckle. But when he got, and then also when the first got in the ring, he hit him with an alley-oop backbreaker. He lifted his leg up, made him go like 5 feet in the air, and hit him with a backbreaker, trying to mess up his back even more, trying to be like Shinsuke Nakamura. With him and Luchasaurus being like Shinsuke Nakamura, trying to target Darby Allin's back like Nakamura was doing with Seth Rollins, like with their feud over for the World Heavyweight Championship. And this when Roderick Strong tried to hit him with a back suplex, this is when Darby Allin hits him with a sunset flip, but only got him to 2. This is when Roderick Strong tried to run up and try to close arm out of the ring, but this is when Darby Allin went up and ducked, and then he hit him with a suicide dive right into the Barry Barricade. It seems like Roderick Strong just cannot get enough of Barry Barricade, for his neck's sake, of course, yeah. Because him and his neck just cannot get enough of Barry Barricade or getting hit with Barry Barricade. He's already enough that Barry Barricade is sadly dead, or should I say sadly and silly. Sadly and hilariously dead, and I hope I'm not being too insensitive to Simon Miller, but yeah, this is when they slowly got back in the ring. This is when Roderick Strong did his signature pose of his side signature pose, is saying that he's strong, like they don't call him strong for nothing, which I'm not sure if that's the case or not. But this is when Roderick Strong hit him with a fireman's knee, that knee move, like knee right to the guts, and then but it only got him a 2.999 second. And then this is when they took it outside. This is when Darby Allin got back up. He tried to grab onto Roddy's leg, but he kicked him. It goes straight to Barry Barricade. But Darby Allin pushed him right to Rita the ring post face first and hit him with a flying clothesline, looking like a younger, skinnier version of Sting. And then this is when he started single axe handling and forearming, and single axe handling Roddy's back and then Roddy's neck and face. He started hitting him with right hands. This is when Roderick Strong caught him from his crossbody and hit him right to Rita the ring post, and then had him crashing back first right into Barry Barricade, which made his back get even worse. This is when Matt Taven started hyping him up, like, come on, Roddy, like, get him back in the ring so you can win this and do like you said you're going to do, which I believe you're going to do for the tournament's sake, of course. But this is when he was looking at Nick Wayne when he threw Darby Allin in the ring. He was like, what are you looking like? And Nick Wayne's like, nothing. Like, I'm not trying to get involved, trying to win dirt, have my best friend win dirty. This is when Roddy started stomping on Darby Allin. This is when Roderick Strong started saying, oh, yeah, you fans, get off your feet. This is where he tried to run up and attack Darby Allin, but Darby Allin tripped him over, landing him face first right into the middle ropes. This is when Darby Allin got into the apron, and this is when he goes for a middle rope between the middle ropes and the apron, hit him with a half ring guillotine choke move like that nearly made Roddy tap, because he would start grabbing for his neck, because he was messing up his neck so bad to the point it looks like he could have re-injured that neck. And then he got out of the grasp. This is when Darby Allin hits the most devastating move in all sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up. This is when Roderick Strong kicked out of the roll-up. This is where Darby Allin hits that rolling wheel. Or no, before that, he hits him with trying to go for a backbreaker like Sheamus. He hits him with a crucifix roll-up, but only got him to 2. He hits him with his signature sunset flip, and I believe he tried to go for another one once the second one didn't work, but he hits that signature roll-up. I mean, his signature spinning wheel roll. Right after he tried to do that a double underhook arm pulling elbow sleeper strike. This is when Roderick Strong tried to go for the STF. this is when Darby Allin started screaming and started saying, never, not giving up. This is when Darby Allin tried to grab onto the ropes, but it looks like he was about to faint. But thank God that didn't happen but he grabbed onto the ropes, and then this is when Roderick Strong was more frustrated, and he started arguing with the referee. He was like, "Damn it!" And then this is when Nick Wayne started breathing a sigh of relief. This is when Roderick started chopping him right on the two of Tina the Turnbuckle corners. He put him on top of him, one of them, which I believe was the top right one. Then when Roderick Strong tried to go for a top rope suplex, this is when Darby Allin countered the move and knocked him down from the top rope. Then when this is when Darby Allin started going up to the top rope. This is Darby Allin with the top rope. He tried to go for his finishing move, which was the coffin drop. But Roderick Strong pushed him face first right into that the top part of Rita the ring post. This is when Roderick Strong ripped up in the air and landed back first right into that turnbuckle pads, that turnbuckle support, their thing, that middle part, like the back, hit him with a half back Nelson slam. As it looks like we thought he was going to be out for the 10 count of the into a count out to declare Roderick Strong for the move on to the finals, the face either Penta or Samoa Joe. But that wasn't the case though. But it made the fans shout out "holy shit" chants, like which we would hear from NXT, whether it be on Peacock or on Peacock on their pay-per-view or on weekly USA usual every week NXT episodes, which I would say, which I noticed, they don't censor it out on Peacock on the pay-per-views, but they do on the weekly shows because I think they have restrictions on USA. Where Peacock, they don't have that much restriction. They just go by certain rules. Like as long as there's a limit for the wrestlers saying certain words, like that's all that matters. But anyways, the fans were chanting that, saying the "holy shit" chants like repeatedly because it looked very frightening. Like I was like, wow, like I never seen nothing happen like this ever before in pro wrestling. This is when Roderick Strong tried to get him back in the ring and try to finish him off. This is when he tried to grab onto his leg and try to probably go for the single leg Boston Crab, which he did so, but it did not put him away. This is when Darby Allin got out of it. This is where he would hang on to the ropes with his hand and stomp on the leg of Darby Allin. This is when Roderick Strong said, unfortunately too, to Matt Taven. This is when Roderick Strong got him onto the ropes. This is where they go on the outside. This is where we go to the outside. This is where Nick Wayne got Darby Allin's back. This is when Nick Wayne nearly got outnumbered by the Kingdom. This is when AR Fox got his back. This is when we started arguing at AR Fox, and he was saying, "What the hell you doing here?" And I was like, Nick, like now's not the time to get mad and have hatred or throw some hate onto AR Fox. Like now's the time to accept his help to bring down the King, take down the Kingdom. I was like, don't argue that. Him like, and then this is when I believe Matt Taven hit him face first. He hit. This is when Matt Taven tried to distract Darby Allin by trying to. Oh, before that, Darby Allin hit a most incredible coffin drop right off the the top rope of a springboard position, and then that's when that all happened. But anyways, but back to the match. This is when Nick Wayne hits Matt Taven face first right into the hard spot in the ring apron. This is when he started holding on to Matt Taven so AR Fox can hit a most perfectionist moonsault right off the apron. But Mike Bennett had to push Nick Wayne right off of Matt Taven, which it kind of messed up him and AR Fox's plan of taking down Matt Taven, which AR Fox accidentally moonsaulted what's his name, Nick Wayne, which made Nick Wayne more pissed off at him. And then this is what Darby Allin saw, and that's what made him too distracted. This is when Darby Allin said, "Forget it, like he's gonna have the coffin drop him regardless." But when Roderick Strong got the knees up, he picked him up to hit his finishing move with that Falcon Arrow into a backstabber magic for the 1, 2, 3, and he's moving on to the next round, which is the finals, which he's gonna face either Penta or Samoa Joe. But I predicted it's gonna be him and Samoa Joe. But I guess I was right about one of the guys. Your other guys, and what do you think? Who do you think? Y'all let me know down in the comments below, because we're gonna move on with Nick Wayne checking on both Nick Wayne and AR Fox checking on Darby Allin, like seeing if he was all right. And then this when AR Fox tried to help out, and then this is when Nick Wayne pushed him away, and he said, "Go and leave the ring." Yeah, he's still not forgiving him for what he did to him by helping Swerve Strickland, because he's still not sure if he should trust him. But in my opinion, I think he should trust him, because what would be the point of Swerve Strickland turning his back on AR Fox just to go back to him? Like, it's almost worse than Jimmy Uso going back to Roman Reigns, even though he left the bloodline. But yeah, I think that would be pointless if that was the whole trick. But I think that AR Fox is back to his good ways, and he's learning from his mistakes. And like Darby Allin said, like, the best thing you do is to forgive him, like, which I believe that Nick Wayne should have just done, like, and they wouldn't be in the mess regardless of being off the same page, yeah, not on the same page, being off the same page, which is a difference, like a light, like this light, like the difference between it being on and off is like if the light's on, that means it's on, but if it's dark in here, it'll be off. But that's my only analogy I have for the moment. But we're talking about that. Go away. What do you think about this? Like, do you think that this is going to be a sign that Nick Wayne's going to turn heel and possibly join forces with Christian Cage and Luchasaurus, or is he going to be a heel on his own, or is he just going to, or are you finally going to see him make up and be best friends like they are with Darby Allin? Both are with Darby Allin respectively. Y'all let me know down in the comments below. If it's gonna be the three of them as best friends, like it's gonna be something that AR Fox is gonna do that's gonna change Nick Wayne's mind of trusting him and being cool with him. But we're gonna talk about that more later on. But we're just gonna move on to the next thing, which is a backstage interview with Keith Lee or Powerhouse versus Powerhouse Hobbs, hyping up his Powerhouse Hobbs, saying like it's not over yet between him and Miro, which is kind of obvious, because it looked like it just started, because like it all started with back in a month ago when Miro made his long-awaited return, or was it 2 months ago, back in July, and then he had his help from his hot, flexible wife, which it's self-proclaimed, of course, but this is when we have he said this is And he said, I learned everything from the Book of Hobbes, which I was like, oh, here we go again with his own book that's even better than the Bible, which is metaphorically speaking, because nothing's not better than the good book, like, which is also known as the Bible. Like, but I was just being funny. Like, that's what basically Powerhouse Hobbs' heel character is. Like, the Book of Hobbes is the way of life and the real way of life, which I'm not sure if that's even the case. But what do y'all think about this storyline religion feud that I personally and customizingly nicknamed? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. We're gonna move on to this backstage interview with the Limitless Keith Lee being interviewed with Lexi. And then she was saying, like, he said he has the AEW roster all around their waist. And what their plans on Collision is so. And you said, and she reminded Keith Lee, saying, you want to do things solo. And he's like, absolutely. I remember that my first match here. I remember. However, there's some certain individual here, and he just need to get the work done. Like here with. And he said, what do you call here? Colliders. And he said, you understand that I am the Collision, and I am the one. And my advice to you is to run, which I believe is a tribute to his former colleague, the late, great Bray Wyatt. Because I never heard him say that word before. Like, in any kind of sentences into his interview or promo, he just said it so stern, like with a deep, stern voice, saying "run," like what Bray Wyatt would say. Which I'd say that was the best tribute that I would ever hear, next to L.A. Knight saying that. Like, say, I heard from a wise man once told me, like, the next guy that comes into my way, tell him run. Which I think everybody's going to be talking about that tomorrow night into the wrestling internet, especially on YouTube, of course. Like where everybody's talking about the wrestling news, which I'm probably going to do so, which I'm going to talk about that at the end of this video. I'm probably going to make finally going to make my weekend video, which is going to be my episode 30 of the SNA podcast. But what do y'all think about this new breath of fresh air for Keith Lee by being one of the mainstays of Collision? Y'all also let me know about that down below. Which we're gonna also have this in-ring interview with Bryan Danielson. With Bryan Danielson saying, like, about this match, like, about his match against Ricky Starks was one hell of a fight, and he humbly said, like, both him and Starks gave it their all, but at the end of the night, he came out as the better man, and he also brought up about, like he said on that interview recently, that he wants to retire right when his daughter turns 7, because he promised his daughter that back. He recently said this, like, almost a week ago. From a wrestling podcast interview. I don't know which one was it specifically, but he mentioned that he wants to retire by the time his daughter turns 7, which I believe he probably has a year from now of wrestling until he hangs up the boots for good. But he's like, but before he gets into retirement, he wants to have a big dream match with a big name certain individual from New Japan for their next upcoming pay-per-view next month at Wrestle Dreams, which it will be against none other than the New Japan World TV Champion himself, Zack Sabre Jr., which I believe this is his second biggest New Japan crossover match against a New Japan star. So I would say, what do you guys think about this? And it's been confirmed, and we're going to talk more about that later on. But let me know about that down in the comments below. And this is where we have Ricky Starks interrupts Bryan Danielson. And he's like, I believe that I have everybody's attention. And after Sunday, I think I put everybody on notice despite losing that match. After Sunday, like I immortalized myself in that statement as as the face of Collision. That is the person that's going to do that you could have never done. Which I think he said the face of Collision, which is probably a shot at CM Punk no longer being there because he clearly got fired last Saturday. Like, and yeah, Tony Khan made the announcements, which I brought up, of course, on my last week's Collision review part 3. Make sure y'all check that out if you haven't already. And then Ricky Starks also said, like, I'm done. And he also told, and he said, I have to wake up with a crimson, wake up like with you knocking me out with, or choking me out, not knocking, choking me out with that strap rope. And then I have to wake up and stand right in the mirror, washing my face with a crimson mask. And I look at the shower and saw the blood. And then he's like, and I looked at the blood going straight down the drain with the water, and that had me realize something. It's not being hungry is to not being greedy. And I'm going to take, and he's going to repeat, and he repeatedly saying, I keep getting take, because it's in my nature, and it's what I do. And then Bryan Danielson's like, Ricky, I wish you were more patient, man, because I wasn't done yet. And he's like, and I was in the ring on Sunday, and then I saw what you did Sunday. And then I saw what was in you inside it, what's in here. Like, you had heart. Like, and then I approve. And we say in the Blackpool Combat Club, if you want to be with us, you got to be with us. You got to bleed with us. That's what he said. He's like, like we would say in the Blackpool Combat Club, if you got to be with us, you got to bleed with us. And I'm like, that's the most strangest and the most unhealthy, not ritual, but I'll say initiation that I have ever heard. Or initiation of a statement. Yeah. Like, that was the most gross and unhealthy statement I've ever heard from Bryan Danielson. Like, what? Like, this Blackpool Combat faction has got you all mixed up and messed up. Yeah. And he's like, this Sunday, this is when Big Bill hit him with a right hand. Because I believe he probably had flashbacks from back in 2018, from their feud, from when they were on SmackDown, because he started hitting them with fists right on the poor Bryan Danielson. This is when John Moxley came out, tried to help his ally, his BPCC ally. But it was too late for him to do anything because they beat him down too, and he hits him with a big boot to John Moxley, and he looks at his international championship. This is when Ricky Starks started choking him out, trying to get some kind of retribution from last Sunday, and then they stand out tall, and this is when Ricky Starks started going seriously silly by running around, dancing to his theme song. Like, okay, like, this is probably the most second goofiest wrestling of the night. You got to give him a round of applause for that. A round of applause for that. This is when he started doing the low blow maneuver, looking like a young mix rated R superstar Edge, like back in his days as the cocky heel back in the Ruthless Aggression era, doing like this, like like. But anyways, yeah. And up next, and we start seeing hype videos with the Fatal 4-Way match where Hikaru Shida, Britt Baker, and Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, Nia Rose, and Toni Storm. We have Hangman Adam Page in a rubber match against 1/3 of the Ring of Honor Trios champion, Brian Cage. And we're going to see Don Callis reveal his masterpiece. his very next masterpiece. And we also going to have the International Championship on the line with Jon Moxley against Big Bill, which, that's the surprise. Like, with Jon Moxley coming out there and helping out his BPPCC. But it had me – I couldn't help but notice that the Blackpool Combat Club was known as heels until Bryan Danielson came back as a babyface. But I was like, does this mean that Jon Moxley is going to go back as a babyface and the rest of the BPCC? That's a good question. Like, who's the heel and who's the face? Or this is just the heel versus heel kind of program? Well, what do y'all think? Y'all let me know down in the comments below. I think this is probably a face turn, but I was like, that was way too soon for them to turn back into the light side, into the good guy side, because they had so much potential of staying as heels. Like, but I mean, oh well, it's good while it lasted. Like, they had some memorable matches with the likes in the Blood and Guts with the Elite, the Golden Elite, and the Golden Elite, and with the Golden Elite, and even with Eddie Kingston and what's his name, and Penta and Best Friends. And speaking of Penta, we got the main event with him against Samoa Joe to see who's going to face Roderick Strong into the finals, which is going to be this coming Wednesday. Who's going to face next week, the next 7 days against MJF for his AEW World Championship. And we also got Sammy Guevara versus Jericho, which I believe after this match, whoever either man wins, they're going to become friends again, or even better, brothers again. And it'll be only just them two as the sex gods. And this is when we finally do have the match, which it was very entertaining. It even had my mom watching, which I mean, half the time she does watch wrestling with me on her spare time when she's not doing her assignments or any of her other work, or any of her other homework or whatever she's doing. Like, but yeah, she was watching it while she was on her computer, like, and she was like, and she even noticed that Samoa Joe was getting bigger. I was like, yeah, he is getting older, but yeah, he's getting bigger. Like, he's getting more bigger than he was back in his early days, back when he had that trilogy match with CM Punk, when he was more smaller and younger. Like, I was like he looks just more different, or maybe because he's getting older, and then he's and the pay's getting good, so he's eating good, and then he's getting more bigger and buffer, and he's never missing a paycheck. He's never missing a paycheck, and he's getting more popular. Like, and he looks like he's gonna be like this until he's gonna be in this into this position probably for the next 10 or 15 years. Like, whenever he decides to hang up his boots. But for now, we better enjoy this Samoan submission machine while we can, because he can make it work with any wrestler in the ring. Like, whether if he's facing a CM Punk or a Roman Reigns or a Brock Lesnar or a Penta, a Rey Mysterio, a Randy Orton, a Jeff Hardy. Like, it would be easily enough to talk about how he had a good match. Like, and he did just that. Like, even when Penta tried, and it's even like when Penta tried to go for a leg slide drop kick, dive right into Samoa Joe, but he let him go right through the ropes and no sells that, and ran him right to Barry barricade. This is when Penta, and also Penta. But I think before that, he hits him with an elbows and knife edge chops to Samoa Joe, from getting him off a headlock, and then Samoa Joe hit him with the snake eyes, which I believe, again, I could be wrong. Like, I think it was afterwards. After that, they got into the ring. He hit him with the snake eyes. Samoa Samoa Joe hits him with an abdominal leg arms back stretch, arm stretch, like with him nowhere to go. And this is when Roderick Strong started watching the action on the backstage TV. I was like, what's up with Roderick Strong wearing that those glasses? And then this is when Penta starts screaming like, ah. And then this is when he managed to get out of the hold and the clutch. And this is when Samoa Joe started hitting him with a headbutt. He hit him with right hands, and he hit him with a snapmare as well. And then also on top of that with a knife edge chop and a side swipe kick and a running elbow drop, which only got him the 2.999 count. And then Samoa Joe's like, what the hell? And even my mom noticed this. He was like, what I can do to put away this little tough son of a gun? And then he started thinking about, and then this is when Samoa Joe put him right into the corner, Tina the turnbuckle. This is when let's see. And this is when they took it outside. This is when Penta goes right on the outside. This is where he catches them with a diving senton somersault, which he smartly hit him with a side swipe kick right into the face to make sure he's in a daze, like so he won't no sell it again, because Samoa Joe's possibly the smartest wrestler for not selling a move when it's obvious that you could easily move out of the way. Even though some say it's probably unprofessional for him, because at the end of the day, you're trying to be a professional and trying to make sure your opponent's okay. Because what's the point of getting him hurt if he can never wrestle again, and if you don't, you can't wrestle him again? Even if you don't like the guy, like, be a professional and wrestle him and show some respect, like when y'all fighting inside the square circle. But it's telling a story at the same time from the Ring of Honor TV champion. Like what's the point of waiting for him to hit me with the dive if I could just move out of the way? And even my mom agreed on that. Like, yeah, like that was very smart of the Samoa Submission Machine. It was Samoa Joe went to the corner, right to the ring, rear to the ring post. This is where Penta. And also, I forgot to point out that Samoa Joe started hitting chops that was more devastating than Gunther's chops. And then this is when Penta countered it, and he starts doing chops on his own, which they're doing a chop off, making Gunther jealous. And he probably wanted to face either man from AEW. Probably wanted to give out some kind of an invitational, like if WWE allows either man being on WWE to defend his latest achievement, his prize-winning longest reign is Intercontinental Champion, which I'm not sure if that will happen unless they sign with WWE. That's the only way they'll go there. This is when Penta forgot to try to put Samoa Joe back in the day, because he tried to go for a somersault diving senton again, except this time right through the table, but he unfortunately missed and landed right into the with Samoa Joe walking off, no selling again, and he landed right into the wedge table, right through the wedge table into the right into the wedge table of the right into barricade. And the referee was like, "What was that for?" It looks like the referee was breaking character, because he started blaming Samoa Joe why he didn't catch him, because there was no point of doing that. Like if he knows that when it's obvious. Oh, and then that's when Samoa Joe throws him back in the ring. This is when Samoa Joe tries to put him away, but with a pin, but it only got a 2.9999. Samoa Joe's like, how is he doing this? This is when Penta. This is when he tried to go for the Coquina clutch for the win, but but Penta reversed into the to his pump handle, the Sierra Miro driver move majig. But Samoa Joe counters out of that, try to re-put in the Kokita clutch, and then that's when he did it, and he finally made him tap by trying to choke him out. But before he had a chance to do it, Penta managed to tap out, and then the referee had no choice but to call for the bell, like in the bell keeper ring the bell. Then Samoa Joe won the match to move on to the finals. The team to take on Roderick Strong, which I believe was the same guy who messed up his neck from the Samoan Muscle Buster back in June, I believe, in the Owen Hart tournament. But this is telling stories, and then it's planting seeds. And like I predicted, Samoa Joe was going to win this, like I did with Roderick Strong. And then I think I can think of two reasons why Roderick Strong's going to win. Because one, he's very serious about winning this tournament, trying to become the AEW World Champion, and rub it into Adam Cole's face that he did it all by himself without his help, and he beat his new best friend, which is MJF. And two, he can do that in the process of beating Samoa Joe and getting some kind of revenge onto the Samoan submission machine, which I believe MJF would probably like to see that. But I think that Samoa Joe's going to get involved for MJF to retain, which I think he's going to interfere and then give MJF the DQ victory, which will probably be very disappointing for the New York fans into AEW Grand Slam Dynamite, with him getting the Kokita clutch and put him to sleep, and then showing that he can do that in the next biggest event, which I'm not sure if that will be the case. Like I'm not saying I know for sure, but I'm predicting this, which y'all probably have different opinions, and the others might just agree with me on that opinion, on that theory, of course, I should say. But yeah, that's what's going to end AEW Dynamite. And man, it was very entertaining. I would say I would give they have like so many matches that are very entertaining, like probably like 5 out of 6 matches that were very fun to watch and very good to see. I would say I'll give tonight's AEW Collision a 4 out of 5 stars, or 4.5 stars out of 5 stars. 4.5 stars out of 5. I know that's being too much of a positive peak, but I like what I like. It's my video, it's my podcast, and it's my opinion. So I could give y'all can talk whatever y'all want down in the comments below if y'all want to. But I guess I'm gonna end the show end the show right here with Samoa Joe. Talking about Samoa Joe wins, and then like I predicted, he was gonna win. But I think Roderick Strong's going to win somehow, get some revenge on the Samoan Submission Machine from their tournament match. On their tournament match from their Owen Hart tournament match back a couple of months ago, and like 3 months ago, and he's going to get his opportunity. But just for him to screw him out of the match, which will probably piss off Roderick Strong, and then we're going to. But we're going to worry about him later with him finally going to have a match with Adam Cole in their next biggest event, probably Wrestle Dreams, with Samoa Joe facing MJF into the same event. But yeah, y'all let me know down in the comments when it's going to take place and what y'all think whatsoever. And I guess I'm going to end the SNA podcast right here. I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin, and thank you so much for those who've been watching. And then if y'all like this video, make sure you give me a huge thumbs up. And then if y'all haven't subscribed, make sure y'all click on the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you can be notified for my next new videos. Which, speaking of which, I'm finally gonna make my weekend wrestling news video, which is gonna be the wrestling news video part, I believe, 5. Of this series of the SNA podcast. Make sure you check that out. And then if you like the content, make sure you subscribe. I've been your host, Super Ninja Austin. I hope you have a great night, and I'll see you all tomorrow, possibly in the afternoon. And then I guess this is a goodbye for now. And And then, yeah, I'll see you there. Super Ninja Austin, the assassin, out.